This is AndrewHaug.com, Australia's only dedicated 24/7 rock metal radio station. It is my privilege again to finally be speaking to Nergal from Behemoth, as they are making a well and truly awaited return to Australia. So let's get acquainted with the band and see what, of course, is happening in the world of Behemoth. G'day, Nergal. Welcome to AndrewHaug.com.
Thank you so much for having me here, man. Pleasure.
No worries. Now, I guess the first thing we should sort of delve into is the 10th studio record has been put back till 2014. It is called the Satanist. I know a lot of fans were certainly looking forward to getting the chance to hear the record, which was supposed to be released later in the year. What's the reason for its delay?
Well, basically, we are taking as much time as we need, and apparently quality and honesty takes time. So we're not one of these bands that will be just shooting out, products, every year or two. We always take time, we always focus on details, and we always want to make sure that we, as creators, as artists, are happy in the first place. And if we're happy, there's a bigger chance that people will dig it too. Yeah, we had some delays, the whole recording process took like 12 months. Pre-production and rehearsing another 6 months, and then we were mixing the record with Colin Richardson. He gave up after like 4 weeks or something, we just couldn't, he kind of lost the track, they didn't know which direction he should take with the record, and there were some issues with the studio he was working in also, so we picked up Haug, who was up for the job, and he did a great job, and we actually, as we speak now, we are mastering the record in New York, so things are great. We are ready to fucking chill with this one. It's gonna take another few months until we release it because it's coming out in February.
Yep.
But be sure there's gonna be Australian version of the record, as we did with Evangelion, and it worked out great, and people loved it. They have like a local product. They probably spend less money on the same quality, so things are great, man.
Well, you've been described talking about the record as being spectacular, very atmospheric, and very emotional. Is this sort of something you were aiming to capture, being the band's 10th studio record? Because we know a lot of bands don't make even close to 6 or 7 records in their career, but knowing that you still have such a drive and an energy about Behemoth's music, what gives you these kind of emotions in these songs, I guess, compared to previous records? Is this sort of a whole new approach to writing Behemoth music?
Yeah, totally, man. The whole record just paced down, and more emotions there, and it's more adventurous in many ways, man. And we're exploring different territories we've never been to, but you can be 100% sure that there's no winning out here or just betraying our roots. When you listen to any song of the record, even though some of them, take really unexpected curves, and we do stuff that surprise us a lot as artists. But it's all Behemoth. It's all very radical. It's maybe the most radical album we've ever put out. We're ever gonna put out. But yeah, we are super proud. It's definitely, it's different than Evangelion. It's Behemoth, but it's different. It's very challenging and inspiring album. Yeah. It's a 10th record, and believe me, it could be the last one. I wouldn't have problems with that.
Do you feel that you were getting bored of where extreme music was going, and also possibly the direction of Behemoth, so you had to sort of turn it on its head to I guess, be stimulated both as a musician and emotionally as a songwriter? Do you feel like the extreme music scene is becoming quite stale and, if anything, saturated?
Yes, I actually think that the extreme music is no extreme anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think that majority of records, of bands in the market are just extreme by the definition only, and they don't even come close to any kind of extremity, at least in my categories, in my definition of what extreme is. So I already talked to some magazines from Australia before, and I told them that, hey, I've just been to a show of Diamant de Galas, and to me it was extreme. And there was no double bass, and there was no harsh guitars, and there was no shredding. And it was more extreme than the whole black metal genre altogether. I've seen Lars von Trier Antichrist, and that's what I call extreme. Extreme art it's the art that leaves you in a very comfortable position. It leaves you disturbed and confused, and that's what Satanist is gonna do to people. It's no safety here. It's no easy ride. You know, it's not like another record that we're not just busting out another album to make some extra money and do some extra touring to make some extra money in the end of the day. Fuck no. It's a very challenging record. It's inspiring. It's fresh. It's new. It's fucking. It's conquering. All I can say, man.
And do you sort of, I mean, we know a lot of people weren't fans of the last Morbid Angel studio record, but of course, being an extreme band that they've been for so many years and highly influential, obviously they got a little bit bored and wanted to experiment and try different forms of extreme music into their sound. Do you sort of have a bit of a good understanding of why they took that sort of route? Purely because, as we mentioned before, a lot of the bands are just putting out records and they're not really changing anything or changing their own game to stimulate themselves as musicians.
Well, I mean, if you ask me my opinion, I can tell you that I have like all my respect for Morbid Angel, and David is one of the smartest dudes, you know, most intelligent dudes in the genre, that's for sure. And I really respect them for having a balls to explore territories that like no other band would really do, you know. At least no band would say this. But if you ask, well, I mean, we are adventurous, but not as much. I mean, whatever you do, please do it with a good style and with a good taste. So I think that, you know, some of the stuff that they did, you know, wasn't really a good taste, at least in my opinion. It was, I mean, some of this stuff just sounded like a Ministry wannabe, you know, but the samples, you know, they sound like some demo from some, you know, garage industrial band, you know. It was lacking quality, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The death metal songs were okay, and the industrial techno stuff, it was very average, very generic. There was nothing special. It was special for Morbid Angel to use it, you know, but still there was no quality there. I mean, not so much. So if there's people that are concerned about Behemoth being adventurous, just, yeah, I mean, sit tight, be patient, you know. We're not doing anything like that. It's all very metal, what we do. We are probably flirting more with some blues and some hard rock classics on this new record, but there's but in a very sinister way, so to say. And you know, it's I mean, Behemoth went more organic and more human, I would say. You know, I mean, the album is less processed. It's like when I played this record to some people, some friends of mine, you know, they told me it sounds like the band would be in the same room performing for them, which is one of the biggest compliments I could think of.
Yep.
So yeah, that's. But then again, it's just, you know, my perception of things. You know, I mean, just wait another few months and wait to see what people think about it. I don't know. Somehow I had this self-confidence, and I'm like 100% sure that we're not gonna lose all these Evangelion fans, and we're gonna gain even more people, because I don't know why. My intuition tells me so.
Well, I've seen that you've actually already started playing one new song live at a few festivals. Blow Your Trumpet, Gabriel seems to be the track title. What has been the reaction for that track so far?
I'm surprised, you know, because obviously, you know, there was some YouTube leak of that song, and the quality is far from okay, and people are fucking freaking out, man. I mean, they love it. I never heard like a bad comment on that song, and I'm not really reading comments, you know, but all I heard, you know, from different people telling me that the reception is really great, and so that leaves me optimistic about the whole record, because Blow Your Trumpet is going to be the first single, and obviously on this upcoming Australian tour we'll be playing them, and we're probably going to throw another new song to the set list. And yeah, so people gonna have a a sneak of what fitness is like. But yeah, just wait for the whole record. I mean, it's very diverse. Pretty much every song is different. It's a very diverse record.
Well,
Yeah.
certainly looking forward to hearing the record and, of course, seeing the band live. I'll read out those tour dates shortly, but let's dabble into something a little bit different. We certainly know that there are some bands that have a bit of a, I guess, entrepreneurial approach to their business and brand name, and, of course, you guys have worked with a Polish company, Game Over Cycles, to create the Behemoth bike, which I've heard's had some rave reviews so far, and you know, what has the reaction been from fans when people sort of think that, oh, now they're selling out and you're doing, you know, the energy drinks and all that sort of stuff and you know, TV shows? Fill us in on reactions and you know, are you branching yourself out, Nergal, into different areas?
Well, you know what? First of all, all I care is about, me being faithful to myself and just, releasing my will and whatever works and serves myself. And we are fortunate enough to be a band that have a very loyal and thinking fan base. So I hardly ever meet with criticism. And there is criticism, obviously, but when it comes to the real fan base, these people are just, we kind of educated them to be as open-minded as they can be, and it looks like the whole metal community, which was known for being very conservative, is opening up, I think that the turning point was Rob Halford coming out. It's like just to think for yourself, man, and just make up your mind and, just go for your own, intuition and opinions and whatever there is, and stop following like anything else but yourself, and listen to your own intelligence and inner voice. And this, we have diehard fans, but they are also very open-minded, and they are just, I don't know, maybe Manowar has the diehard fans, that that never compromise. With Behemoth fans, it's a lot of free-thinking people. It's a lot of people that are very flexible with their opinions, and I like that. Therefore, I've never really confronted any strong criticism from people. Well, some freaks, some guys wouldn't like the fact that I'm on TV, or they wouldn't like the fact that we are doing stuff that's, whenever we do something that it's not a regular record, people start bitching. Start focus on making music. Well, we do make music, but unlike other bands, we work on multi levels. We do different stuff, and I really consider our art as a multi-layered, and it's multi-dimensional, and I really would like to express ourselves on several levels. And it's not just music, it's not just sound, it's voice, it's the vision, it's stuff that can be linked to our band, but it's not necessarily a CD or LP or MP3, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So there's people that kind of capture this conceptual idea of Behemoth. It's like, I know I look up to bands like Laibach, that consists on more than musical level. They create some kind of trend themselves, that they are like the only band within their own genre, like subgenre. That Laibach is a subgenre, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and yeah, I basically explained myself here.
Well, like I said, it's great that the fans are opening up, because as we know, as much as a lot of fans in heavy music claim to be open-minded, when bands try and do something a little bit different, most bands just get slammed for it, and it seems that either not all fans are totally open to bands trying different things. But as you also said too, branching out, well, we are aware, and you're well aware too, that we only have one life, and it's a very short one. So, fill it to the brim.
Exactly. My advice to any artist, to any band is just go for you know, for what you feel like doing, you know, because you don't want to wake up one day regretting for not doing stuff because people expect you to do something else. Fuck that, you know. I mean, we are in a comfortable position, really comfortable position, by making music by our will and by our needs and aspirations. And fortunately, we are fortunate enough to have all these people following us regardless, because Behemoth has always been like transforming from, you know, from like going like capturing different genres and mixing them up, you know, and like every record is different. Every record is like completely different. And still, there's thousands and thousands of people, you know, buying records and coming to the shows. This is fucking amazing. Some bands, you know, do records, you know, that ruin their career, like totally, forever. I mean, I really hope, you know, that like when we challenge ourselves and do stuff that is different for us, we do it with a great taste and with a great attention to details, and people know that. So now, I know it takes forever to complete the record, but our fans can be 100% sure that we do it for a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason behind it. So yeah, I really sleep well, you know, and I'm not worried about the future, and I'm not worried about the feedback that we're gonna get, you know, on the new one. So.
Well, it sounds like you would do sleep well, but Australian fans aren't sleeping because they're too excited for the return of Behemoth. Of course, you're bringing with you the Hour of Penance. So let's check out those tour dates just quickly. You are playing on the 24th of October at the Capitol in Perth, the 25th at the Esplanade in Melbourne, the 26th at the Manning Bar in Sydney, and the 27th at the Hi-Fi Bar in Brisbane, and then whipping over to Auckland, New Zealand at the King's Arms on the 29th of October. Well, you've got us all excited about the new album, but sadly we don't have any new music to play, so we can get you to choose one of your favourite Behemoth tracks from any of the back catalogue, and also just a couple of last words to the Australian fans and listeners of AndrewHaug.com.
We are on fire, and we can't wait to bring this fire to Australia again. This is the third time. Every time we are there, it feels like a family. It's a family vibe there, so thank you so much for making us feel that way. It's really amazing. Now you're going to listen to Lucifer, the closing track from Evangelion. Thank you so much for talking. It was a pleasure.
Let's check out some Behemoth now on AndrewHaug.com.